then Poison the Well, and then Mudvayne, Slipknot started stepping into that, and I was like, oh, this is crazy. And then like I heard bands like the Acacia Strain, and I was just like,
Yep.
what? He's so pissed.
Yeah.
This is so sick.
Yo, what up? Today we're going to be talking with Joe Bad, the vocalist of Fit for an Autopsy. We talk about a huge range of stuff from the music industry, like touring, doing vocals, how he got into being a barber on the side and all that. Joe and I both stream on Twitch. In the description, I'll link his channel and my channel so you can come connect with both of us live and chat and all that good stuff. And also, if you would like the video and subscribe to the channel, I'll be doing a podcast once a week, ideally every Friday, where I have a conversation with some other person in the industry. So Joe Bad's a really good dude, and I enjoyed this conversation. So appreciate it, and let's get to chatting. This is Joe Bad, aka Joe Bottolato from the band Fit for an Autopsy. How you doing?
Good, man. How are you?
Great. Just
Hanging,
chilling.
living,
Yeah.
doing
Waking up at 4 p.m. so I can do this.
it. You woke up at 4 p.m. today?
Dude, today's my off day. I'm just like, F it. Like, I woke up at 1:30, which is about when I wake up to start streaming. I was like, I'm going back to bed. It's my off day, dude.
It was my off day today too, so I like probably woke up. I definitely woke up like around 11 because I had I had like brunch at noon, which is so good.
So Joe Bad, I just learned your last name was Bottolato, and so totally Badolato. So that's where the Joe Bad comes from.
That's where the bad comes from. The first three of the last name. I figured it's convenient. My grandfather was Joe Bad. I guess his friends called him that in the Air Force, and somehow the name got stuck with me in like kindergarten, and I just I'm not. Yeah, it's ridiculous. I've been called Joe Bad my entire
Bad boy
life.
from day one, dude.
Yeah, I might as well just legally change it because I don't even think anyone knows my last name.
No, I had no idea till I just asked. So that's pretty tight, though. I wasn't sure. It's cool. It has like reference to like your actual name. That's tight.
Yeah, it's not just like, oh, what do they call you? Like I get it all the time. Why do they call you Joe Bad? Wow, you don't seem like a bad guy. I'm like,
yeah,
it's part of my last name.
I get that all the time. If like people assuming that like I'm like gonna be some angry dude all the time, like walking around, and we have like a song called like "I Am Pure Evil," and then they meet me and talk to me, and they're like,
yeah,
you're just like a soft-spoken like weirdo,
Yeah, just very nice guy,
Yeah. Do you get that all the time?
All the time, dude. Everyone's like, even like when it comes to performance, like, I'll be by the merch tables beforehand, and a couple kids will like be hanging around, and like they think I'm the merch guy for a little bit. And then, like,
I've had that.
That's the best. And then I go on stage, do my thing, and I get off. They're like, it definitely doesn't make sense. You're like such this. I'm again soft-spoken, like just cool, chill, relaxing, and then you just get up there, and that's what happens. Like, what gets you to that point?
Well, it's weird, man. Like, it's like going on. Like, I'm a totally different person on stage. I don't know. Whenever I'm on stage, I don't necessarily even feel like myself, and I don't ever think about like myself or anything. The whole presence just kind of like happens,
Yeah, it just takes over. If you think about it, we're technically professional wrestlers.
True.
If you think about it, we have to get up on stage.
Yeah. You change the voice too.
Yeah, for some reason I go Southern. I don't know what happens.
Do you?
What's up, everybody? Like, what happened? Why am I in the South now? What happened?
Well, it's so funny too because it happens with every band. Like, when you're on tour, you're hanging out backstage and the bands are about to go on stage, and everyone's just kind of joking around. They're like, yeah, and like they're sitting there backstage like farting and laughing and whatever. And then they're even right before they go on, they're sitting there like tickling each other and crap. And then right when you go on stage, it's just like done.
Yeah. Instantly, like, that fart was not funny at all. It actually pissed me off. Now we're going to take it out on everyone around.
Yeah. Voice drops like a few octaves, and you're just like, all right.
Split this damn room in half. We're going to make some wall of death.
Exactly. Yeah, it's strange. I get that, especially like my with my family and stuff,
Oh, man. My mom, she lives in Arizona, and the first time she came out, she was just like, do you know The Rock? in Arizona.
Yeah.
You remember
Yeah.
like the it's kind of like a fence, like a metal fence.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah,
so
by
I
the
had
bar.
her behind the metal fence because I don't need
Mhm.
no mosh warriors hit my
Yep.
mom. Me get all crazy, you know.
Uh-huh.
And all I remember is after the first song, looking at her face, and she was just like, "What?
What did I do?
And then I get off stage. She's like, "Well, that was interesting."
Yep, that's pretty much the normal reaction.
It's like, "Well, Mom, welcome to my life."
Yep. Yep. I remember my mom, she's all about trying to be all up in the mix and stuff with at shows. And one of our first shows when we very first started, it was obviously a floor show, 'cause who doesn't love floor
Of
shows?
course.
And
miss 'em.
my mom was standing, you know, like 3 rows back trying to like take pictures with her camera and stuff, and she gets knocked on her butt, like knocked back like 10 feet from a mosher, right? And then she which obviously that's her deal for being up there, but my mom's she apparently walked up behind the person, tapped him on the shoulder, they turned around and she just freaking popped him right in the lip.
Yes,
Yeah.
I'm Team
And-
Mama right now.
Oh yeah. And then about 2 years later, that dude ended up joining my band.
Who?
It was our old bassist, Drew.
Oh.
Yeah. He just freaking, she just popped him in the lip. She was like, well, he hit me. He pushed me down. So I got to hit him, right? That was her whole reasoning. So,
That's so good. That's awesome.
no, it was a good story. I'm glad he ended up joining the band after he had already been, decked by my mom.
So was there like rebuttal? Did he like afterwards, like when he joined the band, like did your mom say anything to him?
No, she just said sorry, and she just explained how, hey, I mean, you knocked me down. He was like, yeah, I get it. It's fine.
Yeah.
So, no, I and like you said, you do miss floor shows. Like there is something about those shows whenever you first started that like that's a big reason that you love metal, because they have so much intensity.
That's what it is, and I feel like the floor shows. It's the intimacy. It's the fact of you're right here in my face. I'm with you. I'm on the ground with you. We're together on this now.
Yeah.
I'm not on some podium.
Yeah.
Stages are more like podiums. Like this is what we're showing you. And
Yeah.
it's like when you're on a floor, you're like in with everyone. Like everyone's on the same playing level.
Yep.
It's like whatever happens to me is happening to you. Like
exactly.
It's awesome. Like I love being in the crowd and engaged in the crowd like that.
Yeah, and tall stages are awkward, dude. Like,
dude, when they're
so
far,
awkward.
Like I don't know if you saw we did there was a live video for what was that festival we played in? Oh wait, you guys played the same festival with Full Force.
Oh yeah.
Yes. So we played that festival, and that stage we played main stage, and to the
like
crowd,
20 feet from the crowd, dude.
It's so high up. There was like in front of the stage, directly in front of the stage, was like 2 of those like camera things that were just up. I like to get into the crowd. I jumped off of that. I got into the camera, had to climb down that thing, and then walked through the grass a couple seconds onto the barricade and just like got in the crowd. But it like took me a couple minutes. I was a little winded. I was like, I gotta sing right now, but I gotta get out there.
No, people really like whenever you're in the crowd at a big festival like that, it just looks like a normal stage, but you're literally about 15 feet off the ground and like 20 feet from the crowd. It's super strange and disconnected,
Yeah, it's nuts. It's cool, but then like when I'm too far like that, I still feel the vibe. It's a festival. There's a ton of people. It's like I feel like now I'm putting on more of like a theatrical show. But like I like crowd engagement a lot, so that's why I like those smaller shows.
Yeah, well, and that's some people will come up to me on tour and they'll be like, "Man, I expected you guys to play such a bigger venue," and I'm like, "Well, for one, none of these bands draw as much as you think they do. First of all,
exactly.
Second of all, I would much rather be a small venue, like
100%.
I'd rather smash 200 people in a 180 cap than put 200 people in a 600 cap.
Like, I like that Come and Take It Live place.
Oh, yeah.
That place is awesome.
The production there is like a big cap room, but since the floor is kind of sectioned off from everything else, you can still have like 200 people there and it'd be packed.
Yeah, it's so awesome. And I think they squoze in like 1,000. Is squoze a word? Did I say squoze?
No, that venue is really great. And Austin's just great too. I'm pretty
I
sure
love Austin.
that was one of our biggest draws on our last headliner. We did like 300 in that room.
Dude,
It was sick,
Austin
dude.
always
I love
shows
it.
so much love, man.
Oh yeah.
So much love. I
Yeah,
love
that fest
Austin.
I was kind of like, I don't know, I love the Browning playing fests like that. You know, it's like Dirt as Murder, Dying Fetus, Fit, Oceano.
Yeah.
And then we have like this weird techno weird thing that we throw in the mix. But people always, I don't know, I just feel like the crowds like that diversity.
They like the
sometimes at
diversity a
festivals.
lot. And
Yeah.
like I love playing I feel like there's been a lot more tours that are like all diverse bands, which is really cool because like you're grabbing different fans all in the same area of music,
Yeah.
still that aggressive like
Yep.
music, but like now you're reaching into different other
Yep.
little pieces of it. And
Exactly.
like some people that may have never listened to Fit for an Autopsy that are the Browning fans might give us a listen and be like, oh my God, these guys are sick.
Yeah.
And like vice versa,
Exactly.
you know?
Exactly. Yeah.
Or they could just think we all suck and it's just, you know,
And they're just waiting for Dying Fetus to come on and they're
Yeah.
50 years old or something.
Yeah, you guys set it off that day though. It was awesome. That was a good
fun.
show.
The one of the best tours we've ever had. This is a good example of that like slight diversity is we did us and Rings of Saturn, you know, because they have the people that love that technical crap, you know, all over the place, and then we have the people that just love like breakdowns and weird stuff.
Yeah.
And so they would draw 150 people, we would draw 150 people, and then
nice
it was
300 cap room
exactly
right there.
like it was like 250, 300 a night. It was sick.
That's awesome. That's really
Yeah,
cool.
because it's like I don't know, like it's those like slight diverse tours are I feel what the best. Like, what would you say was like your most diverse like tour package that you guys have been on?
I mean that Sepultura Obscura Gohor run was definitely a little different. But definitely Trivium, Arch Enemy, While She Sleeps, and Us was definitely a little all over the place. All metal, but like yeah, it was that one was pretty diverse, but we like that tour was probably our best tour to date. That was one of the sickest tours we've ever done.
Yeah, there's something about touring with bands that are semi like mainstream that because here's the thing is a lot of the people that love say like Trivium or Arch Enemy or Chimera or whatever that are a little more like mainstream metal. They're still metal, but they still have like that aspect. They think that's the heaviest crap in the world.
Yeah.
You know? So whenever they see Fit for an Autopsy, they're like, what the crap? Like, this is so heavy.
Dude, that's exactly what was happening on that tour. Like, there was an older man. He's like, I've been seeing Trivium for years. And he's like, I thought they were the heaviest band. And then all of a sudden, you guys started out a set with what's your first song called? It's like, oh, it's Hydra. It's like right out the gate, like that's a whole different type of heavy that I've never been exposed to. And I was like, wow, man, that's actually really nice of you to say that. That's awesome. Thank you.
No, yeah, that's what we've done a lot of tours like that. We've toured with Static X, Shadows Fall, Fear Factory.
You toured with Wayne Static?
Yeah.
Oh man.
And so it's like awesome. And we've toured with Mushroom Head. We're about to go out with Mushroom Head and Power Man 5000.
Dude, that's awesome. Like, good for you.
We've toured with these rock metal bands, right? Yeah. Or these bands that people think are heavy, which they are heavy, but breakdowns and darkness, and it's just so much different, different style that these people haven't heard. I mean, think about it like when you first got into heavy music, or at least me. I was listening to like Godsmack and System of a Down, you know?
Yeah.
Thinking that was like
I was listening to like Mudvayne, Pantera,
Mudvayne.
Poison the Well, and I was like, "Oh my god, this stuff is so heavy." And then
then you hear Nile.
Yeah, then you hear Nile, you hear Black Dahlia, you hear like Behemoth, like
exactly,
like what? And like different vibes of metal. It's not even just like different. There are different levels of heavy, but like. I don't know. Actually, I don't really think there's different levels. I think that everything's heavy. Everyone just thinks certain things are heavier than other things, just based off of what they like, just based off whatever they like.
Yeah.
Dude, I'm telling you, man, if Clutch just put distortion on their guitars and had maces, woo!
Yeah. Dude, those rock bands are super heavy. Like, I mainly listen to kind of like older, like not old rock, but I'm saying like early 2000s rock and stuff. And like, I went on a huge spree where I was like only listening to Disturbed. And their stuff, they have just straight up breakdowns, dude. Like,
yeah, dude.
dude, yeah. Yeah, a lot of the stuff they're doing like tom buildups like
Yeah.
I'm like, dude, if you do that at a hardcore show and just put like a over it, like the people are gonna be getting smashed.
They're gonna be going crazy. But
just because it's Disturbed, people don't perceive it as like a heavy thing.
Yeah,
know?
I've still never seen them live. Have you?
Yeah, I saw them live at a festival with A Day to Remember, Bring Me the Horizon, and Rob Zombie.
Wow.
Yeah, it was sick.
Talk about diverse.
Yeah.
That's
yeah, no,
really cool.
they were great. And my progression of metal, I went from, like I said, like Godsmack, System of a Down, and I immediately, like, I used to browse music on a thing called Yahoo Music back in like middle school.
Oh my
like music
goodness.
videos and stuff, right? And so it would jump from like a Godsmack music video and went straight to literally like Nile or like Annotations of an Autopsy. And I was just like, what? Like, then
quick progression, right?
Yeah.
There.
So I kind of skipped over a big section of stuff like Kill Switch and that kind of era.
That was my stuff right there.
I went straight from Godsmack, System of a Down, and Korn to like Annotation and Autopsy, Job for a Cowboy, and like that, like I don't know necessarily what to call it, like grindcore like deathcore. That era was really strange.
Oh yeah.
But like, what was your progression like?
I guess from when I started, like my uncle got me into Pantera. I used to listen to like R&B and soul and like hip hop growing up. Like that was my thing. But then like, then my uncle showed me Pantera, and I got really into them. And then I got into Hatebreed, and then I found E-Town Concrete because it was like that mixture of hip hop and like metal. And I was just transitioning from listening to like hip hop and R&B, and then who was it? Then Poison the Well, and then Mudvayne, Slipknot, started stepping into that, and I was like, oh, this is crazy. And then like I heard bands like the Acacia Strain, and I was just like, what? He's so pissed.
Yeah,
this is so sick. And then I started listening to bands like Whitechapel and Job for a Cowboy. Started dipping into like a little more deathcore stuff because it was just like I was very into like that very breakdowny groove stuff. And like Kill Switch and I just started getting into Tool recently.
Tool, there's something I feel like you have to be a little older to appreciate.
Like,
as a younger person that loves that freaking heavy crap, and they have like 3 minutes of ambience, it's like I feel like you have to be older to appreciate it.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Then I started listening to bands like Gojira because like when I joined this band, I had no idea who Gojira was. Like, and that sounds like shit.
No,
but Will was like, "Yo, have you ever listened to Gojira?" I was like, "I remember you mentioning them to me, but no, I actually haven't." He's like, "All right, start with this record," and he showed me the song "The Axe," and I was just like, "Oh my god, this is like really cool." His vocals are nuts. Like,
I noticed you do like pitch gels and stuff like that, like what they do, and this album I did a huge. Because I got a huge Gojira kick as well.
Yeah.
Because the way he screams but has that note to it, I was just like, dude, that's next level. Like,
dude, it's like you have to focus on singing the note, and the throat raspiness is second in command on that.
Yeah, exactly. And dude, people in like the core scene really need to listen to Gojira.
Oh,
like
absolutely.
100%. They have some of the freaking slammiest stuff, most disgusting, like chuggy stuff I've ever heard, dude.
Yeah,
like,
dude.
Because they'll just do like a down,
and you're like, what happened?
Yeah, exactly. And you watch their live videos too, and their crowd is slamming.
Dude,
like actually,
the entire time.
They're honestly the best metal band to exist. Like they're insane.
I need to see them live. That's what I haven't seen yet.
Me too. I would probably cry, honestly.
I want to get a tour with them so bad.
Yeah, they really are a band I found recently that I just have fallen in love with and just want to be.
Les Font Sauvage was such a good record. That's like the record that I started with, and the new record's really good.
Yeah, really I agree. The new one they got nominated for a Grammy for, and it has just straight up freaking slumpers on it, dude. Like, it's heavy.
That is insane, dude.
Yeah,
That-
they're a great band.
They're really good, man.
And you were talking about Pantera, and I feel like I get a lot of crap for this a lot of times because, see, my stepdad listened to Metallica, so I never listened to Pantera as a kid, ever. I went, Metallica was the intro metal band for me,
Yeah.
or rock metal band. And first few times I listened to Pantera, I really didn't like it. Like, really didn't like it.
Yeah.
And recently, I gained an appreciation for them because they had some heavy breakdowns, like really heavy stuff, dude.
Oh yeah.
And I don't know, as the main thing, I loved Metallica because their stuff is so melodic,
Yeah. Oh yeah.
And I didn't get the same melodic from Pantera, and I felt like that's what I was like comparing it to.
Then how did you not like Killswitch, or how did you not find Killswitch?
No, yeah, eventually, like I love Killswitch now, I love As Lay Dying, love like the whole like melodic metalcore stuff.
Yeah.
But like Pantera, for some reason, I didn't like it up until about like, I don't even know, like a year ago. I finally gave it a listen, and I was like, okay, this stuff is sick.
Yeah. Dude, they're so heavy. And
yeah, they are. But ahead of the time, it felt like
yeah, like way ahead of it.
And it just had such a hardcore vibe rather than like a rock star vibe,
Oh yeah,
because they're just like Texas boys, rocking on stage.
Yeah, I think they're from Louisiana.
Really? Well,
yeah.
I know that they were based out of Dallas for a little bit, but they might have been from there. But they just had like really. I get really into watching old live videos of bands. Back from,
same.
Like,
I love it
and stuff.
I watched It Dies Today one, and I cringed a little bit. Ozfest.
Oh yeah,
you know which one I'm talking about.
But yeah, Pantera really has like a hardcore vibe to it that I feel like people always connect to something that is more reasonable and like with personalities. Like when Metallica first started, people loved them because at the time hair metal was a thing, and Metallica came up on stage wearing like skinny blue jeans and like cut off tees and looked like a garage band. And then by the time Pantera came around, Metallica was almost going out of that, and Pantera was just like straight up like hardcore, down to earth dudes just jamming on stage. I feel like people connect so much more with like realistic personalities.
Oh, absolutely. When you put on like this fake persona, it starts to be a different thing. I think that people really feel and grasp like the realness and the rawness of bands.
Yeah.
Like, just go up there and be you. Don't like change yourself because you're standing on a stage, kind of thing.
Exactly. Yeah, and it's like really the overall way you try to perceive your band. Like there's some bands in this scene that really think they're rock stars, and it blows my goddamn mind.
Dude, it actually blew my mind for a while.
Yeah. Legator Guitars, huge sponsor for the stream. I got to give a huge shout out to them for sending me this sick Ninja Series 7-string guitar. Has a really nice white wood grain finish to it. The neck is really thin, which I love. Feel like I have way more control over it, and I can reach the whole thing. Also, it is super light. It is half the weight of the other guitar that I was playing before this. I love the thing. It sounds great, feels great, looks great. Legatorguitars.com. Go check it out.
I was like, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
There will never be rock stars, the term rock star, ever again in history.
That died already. There's no rock stars anymore. There's rock star mentality. Anytime you hear the word rock star being used, it's not because someone's actually a rock star. It's because that they have that rock star mentality.
Mm-hmm.
No one's ever a rock star anymore.
Yeah, I can't stand it, honestly. Like it just blows my mind because it's like, I don't know. It's the scene's so different now, and to have that kind of attitude is just. I'm not going to say any names with anyone or anything like that, but
I probably know exactly who you're talking about.
But it just blows my mind, dude, because the scene is so much different now. That's not a thing to any extent,
Oh, of course, and I kind of like that though because I don't know. I've always like tried to stay as humble as possible. But like also knowing in the back of my head, like I'm clearly not the best at what I do. I'm good at what I do.
Yeah.
But I'm not the best. Have you heard all these other bands? Like there's so many good vocalists out there that I will never pinpoint myself as like I'm the best. Like no, probably I'm doing it and there's probably 15 other dudes that are doing it 10 times better than I am. You just don't know about it yet.
I put myself in a rut sometimes when I start thinking about my vocals. Like I do decent and my vocals are unique, but whenever I hear people like the dude from Gideon, You
Dude,
know, I'm just like, oh my god, the dude's
we just did
vocals
like
are
a short, like 3 days with them. It was us, them,
yeah,
and Hatebreed. And
yeah,
dude, Dan is the man. He's
yeah.
a
His
monster.
vocals are insane.
It's
Like
it's
he's
so
so
tough and
intense.
it's so natural, and it
Mm-hmm.
sounds like he's just changing his voice. Like it's not like
Uh-huh.
doing a scream. He's like just
Mm-hmm.
being pissed and like, oh God,
Yeah,
that is really awesome.
I hear people like that, and like I'm just like, God. I had a moment with like that with you whenever you went up on stage with Thy Art at that festival actually,
Oh,
and
yeah.
I was like, because I was walking around, I actually like got in this thing where this dude really wanted a drumstick, and I had to find him in that venue. Like I went and got a drumstick and was searching around for him for like 30 minutes trying to bring him a drumstick. But it was while Thy Art was playing. I was walking around, and then I just freaking heard you did it on Holy War, and
Yeah.
I heard the vocals. And I've honestly haven't listened to a ton of your band, but I did watch some of your guys' set and stuff. But I heard the vocals. I was like, who the crap is that? And I went like I was upstairs. I peeked my head over the balcony. I was like, God dang! Like your vocals are so strong, dude. It
Oh,
was
thank you, man.
yeah. I was just like, crap, dude. Like that is nice.
Thank you, man. I appreciate that. I try to
Yeah.
like as a vocalist, I try like there's a couple things I like to focus on. It's I like to be powerful. Like I try to throw my whole body into every scream because I feel
Mm-hmm.
like it shows the emotion of each
Yeah.
scream when you throw your whole body into it like that. I
Yeah.
like to do that, and my number one thing I always think about is clarity live.
Oh yeah.
I always want you to understand what I'm screaming, like
Definitely.
because of course my entire life when I started like getting into heavier music and my friends weren't like you can't even understand what he's saying. I'm like
Yeah.
I can because I'm like paying attention to it and
Uh-huh.
I'm like reading the lyrics so I could see what he's saying, but now I
Yeah.
get it. But then I just wanted my whole life to be able to scream so clear but still
Yeah.
sound so pissed and have grit to it.
Yeah.
But I want you to understand every word I'm saying.
Definitely.
So
Yeah, and with screaming, and there's a big you can tell a difference between like a local vocalist and a touring like seasons vocalist. And a big part of it is that like you have to over enunciate your words. Like,
oh yeah,
like you really have to put emphasis on certain parts of it to make it more understandable, whether it's on record or live.
exactly.
And
That's why I feel
that
like a
is
live show sounds a lot cooler because you're feeling that raw power of
uh-huh.
the band.
No, yeah, and I agree. Like, screams should be like, it should be like a full on like I'm doing everything I can right now to do this
Yeah,
and be really powerful. It's actually a reason I stopped doing like high vocals, like high screams. Is I feel like high screams aren't as powerful as like a mid or like a low mid or something.
yeah.
And personally, that's just my highs though. Like people like Mitch, like his highs are powerful.
Dude,
You know?
I still feel like I'm having trouble finding a good high for myself because like
Uh-huh.
it's always been like a mid high that I could do, not like a screeching high or like
Yeah.
I could do like a black metal kind of high, but like I haven't
Yeah.
really found that good, comfortable high
Yeah.
screaming. You
Yeah.
know?
Highs are weird for me. Like the only highs that I'm just like, dang, that's cool, are people like Mitch's that is just like it's like a static almost,
Oh yeah,
like
it's
that
insane.
really high. Just like for
Or
me,
that
I couldn't do it.
or that dude from the Agony scene.
Oh yeah, yeah,
His vocals are crazy.
yeah,
Even dude, Phil Bozeman's highs are
yeah,
really cool.
yeah.
Really cool.
I mainly stopped doing mine because I just always felt like they weren't powerful. Like maybe if I did have a good high that was like powerful, then maybe it'd be fine. But
Yeah.
I just stopped. I was just like, I'm going to just like mids. Like I'll do high mids,
Yeah.
but just really, I just wanted something that felt like I was screaming, and my highs didn't feel like that to me.
Yeah.
It felt like I was making a noise rather than screaming.
Exactly. Yeah, I
Yeah.
feel that.
Yeah. But earlier you'd mentioned Will, and I know this band originally, and I don't know the whole setup of your guys' band, but Will writes everything.
Pretty much
Or
writes
pretty
the
much-
majority of the music.
Yeah, and Will is, for people that don't know, Will Putney. He's a big producer. He produces a lot of really sick heavy bands. Like he's done Thy Art, and I know he did he do Oceano or did they go to someone else?
I don't think he's done Oceano. He's done the Acacia Strain, Counterparts, Kublai Khan, Incendiary's new record.
He's been really popping off the past few years doing
he's
pretty
been
much
doing really
every
well.
heavy band goes to him. I feel like.
Oh yeah, dude, he's a monster. He makes.
Yeah.
I've been listening. Like even when I go there before tours, we all meet up at the studio,
Yeah.
and I hear what he's working on. I'm just like, This is
Yeah.
sick.
So he writes pretty much everything, but obviously he's a full-time producer, so he doesn't tour.
So he doesn't tour, yeah.
But have over the course of the years, 'cause how many albums in are you guys? Like two or you're four?
Four albums
Yeah.
in. So
So
there's 2 records without me, technically 3 records with me, because we did
Okay.
that split also. So
Okay.
we did. So the first one is The Process of Human Extermination. That's with Nate Johnson on vocals. Then the second one was Hellbound, which was also Nate Johnson on vocals. And just to clarify that up for all of you guys who still think that I'm the one who did Hellbound, I am not the one who did Hellbound. I have to give that to Nate Johnson because he is a monster.
Yeah.
He's a monster, dude. I was a huge fan of him for a very long time. So being
Yeah.
asked to join this band, I was like, yeah, I'll try.
Yeah, I'll try.
But then I started on Absolute Hope, Absolute Hell. And when I came in, the record was already written. All the lyrics were already written. Like,
Really?
everything was there. And I was like, oh man. So they're like, are you ready to start recording next week? I was like, sure. I mean, let's go. Send me the lyrics then.
Dude,
if
I didn't have to write lyrics, I would be stoked.
Oh, dude. I mean, I enjoy helping out with the lyric process, because I feel like it becomes more personal when I'm able to like say my words. But I don't mind having Will holding the reins down on certain things, because he really knows how to paint a picture better than I can with words.
Yeah. Well, what I was gonna ask is, like, over the process, 4 albums, is the band more involved with writing now, or is it still like mainly Will like writing the music?
I would say it's because he's always home all the time. Like, he's consistently writing all the time. So like all the guitar stuff's pretty much already written. And like he'll give Hossein, our drummer, kind of like scratch of like what he would like him to do, and then Hossein will just write his own drum parts. On this next record, we have a new bass player, Blue, and he's very, very, very talented. So pretty sure he's going to be recording his bass on there too. But I'm sure he's going to be writing his licks for that as well. So I feel like we are starting to all have more hands in on it. Especially now, especially with this new record.
Are you guys working on one?
Yes, we're in the middle of working. We're writing it right now, but because we all have time home now, so everyone's writing riffs and we're all sending stuff to each other. And
that's tight.
I'm writing lyrics, but I kind of need material to work with too. So like I have a couple things that I'm listening to, and it's like, I don't know. I'm gonna wait for him to finish and then send me what he's got, so I could start working on some stuff.
Definitely. Is there any like lyrical like vibe you typically try to go for? Any like message you typically try to portray or anything?
Really,
or it's just kind of the feel at the time, like whatever happens.
It really depends on the feeling at the time. And usually, what me and Will do is we'll sit in a room and like we'll kind of just pick a topic. And then we'll just attack it full on, reading articles, like sending articles back and forth, and just trying to feel out. Like, we want to. A lot of our message lately has been trying to like help the people that don't really have much of a voice themselves to be able to give this message.
Definitely, like that Black Mammoth song.
Like Black Mammoth for sure. With that whole situation, you know, it's terrible if you really think about it. Like, we already
took with the pipelines, right?
Yeah. We already took their land once, and now we want to take more of it and give them less water, less food, and all this stuff. And it's just like, man, that starts to become genocide after a while. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's not okay. And I feel like people need to see that, and people need to understand that, because I think we brought a lot of awareness to it as well. Because we were getting really good vibes off of that song. Like, my inbox was full of thank yous from people, and it was so overwhelming. And it's, you know, it made us feel good. And I feel like that's the stuff that we want to write about. We want to write about things that can be relatable to everybody nowadays, but not like, I'm not going to talk about fancy cars or like how sick I am or how like all this other nonsense. I don't want to talk about nonsense or being death and angels and stuff. Like, that's cool. Like, I listen to stuff like that. But like, as far as wanting to give out a message, we want to give out something with meaning that people can like actually stop and think and like, whoa.
Yeah, for sure. Well, it's the whole point of music in general. And I go on this rant a lot of times is the whole point of music is to mean something or motivate people, whether it's motivate them morally, motivate them musically, motivate them, any sort of way. The whole point of music is to mean something.
Exactly.
And so it's like, I can't understand this stuff that has like, that's why I can't relate to like pop or a lot of rap or a lot of like stuff like that. Is like,
Especially
I feel
now.
like yeah, it's like every rap song I hear that's a big one, it's about doing drugs and about freaking partying and or hooking up with chicks, and
That's so
it's
crazy to me that it's like that's like you won't put metal bands on radios, you won't put them on shows, you won't do all that stuff, and that's cool, that's fine and dandy. But the stuff that you are making viral and making it big in the community is kids that just want to do a ton of drugs. Like, why don't we talking about real topics? Because they don't want us to talk about.
They don't. Yeah, exactly.
They don't want you to know and like
form.
They want you to do that on your own. This is media. Like, that's
well, yeah.
At the end of the day, it's not
it's
entertainment. This is it's something real that everyone needs to hold on to.
And that's why people love and attach themselves to metal for their whole life. Is like, once you're a metalhead, yeah, sure, you might like. I don't listen to metal a ton now, but I'll listen to like ambient music, or I listen to like Enya, like actually, but it's like there's still something in me that like when I hear "Stick to Your Guns," I'm just like, God dang,
Love that band,
because it's just like music like that with such meaningful, emotional vocals and lyrics is just so sick to me, and that's what you really attach to because it's real crap,
Exactly.
It's real. And like with your like Black Mammoth, that's real freaking crap like going on. And like for me lyrically, I try like our band is very, very strange. Our music is very strange. And so I try to talk about like interpersonal stuff, but I kind of relate it like sci-fi to the world or whatever. Like, our band is strange, so I feel like it needs that sort of like reference to it. Since I don't know, our sound is like sci-fi and our imagery is sci-fi and crap like that. So, but I still try to make a difference whenever I talk about like interpersonal thoughts and feelings. Like I don't talk about a broad spectrum of like what's going on in the world a lot, which I wish I did more of. I will do sometimes, but I still kind of relate it in a weird like off-planet type way.
Yeah.
But I want to make a difference, and I want to, because like you said, I've gotten so many messages of people saying like, this song has helped me in some freaking way, and I'm like, well, might not make $1 million with this band, but at least I've helped someone.
And that's I feel like that's more of the payoff for us, because like we eat shit out there. We're not making a lot of money at all. Like like that's why we need to come home and have jobs to like work and make money.
For sure.
But like at the end of the day, the thing that makes me so happy is when a kid comes up to me at the merch table and is just like, thank you for doing what you do, because like you've helped me through so much stuff. And it's like, well, I'm doing this for you now at this point. I'm doing this so you can feel that. And I'm so glad that like someone would come up to me and tell me something. It's like it's such an amazing feeling. And I feel like that's why I keep doing it. That's why I push myself to do it, because like I'm thinking about that community, like this little community that each band creates their own little community. You know what I'm saying? I'm thinking about them, and I want to keep pushing and helping them to want to better themselves and try to better other people.
Yeah, and it's exactly, and I mean everyone on this planet is effed up in some way, right?
Oh yeah.
And so like every person is effed up, and so if I can have someone come up to me and be like, "Yo, dude, your music means so much to me," that's something, because to some people there's nothing that means something to them. You know?
Exactly.
And so to mean something to someone, that they can put it on and it relaxes them. Maybe they're stressed and they're angry, and so they put on the Browning or Fit, and it's just like they sit there and they're just like just chilling and vibing. Even that much is still something more than not doing it.
Exactly. I don't know where honestly, I don't know what I'd do with myself without music. I don't know what I'd be without being in a band. Like I did that short time period where I took like 6 months off of being in a band. Yeah. And like I couldn't do it. I hated working a retail job. I didn't want to just sit home and play video games all day. Yeah. I love doing it, but like I wish that I could have found something else. But at the end of the day, music's always just been a part of my life, and I just think that's who I am at this
Oh
point.
yeah.
You know?
Well, and it's like, obviously anyone in metal, if they're not completely delusional, they will realize they need to have some source of extra income. And
of course.
and fans need to realize that too, and I think they're starting to, where it's like, you know, we can't just tour at all times. We can't just freaking, you know, there has to, at some point, you know, I don't know how old are you?
I just turned 29.
There you go. And yeah, and I'm 27. It's starting to get to that point where it's like,
It's so
yo,
sad.
it's like, it's starting to get to that point where it's like, yo, like, you know, bands are fun and everything, but the money isn't there to like be able to buy a house or be able to
be able
you
to live
know,
a normal life.
Yeah. And so it's like, I think people are starting to understand where it's like, the like bands need to make money outside of the music as well, because you see a lot of stuff like, I mean, the whole CJ thing was like a few years ago, whenever he was like, yo, like, I'm not making enough money with the band to live the life I want to, and the whole scene's like, what the crap, you're like the biggest band in the scene. And it's like, still, there's so much expenses, there's so many people involved, there's
Exactly.
I mean, you give 25% of what you make away to your management and booking agent.
Yeah, of course. And it's like, that's 25% of everything that we earn, you know? And that's just a little piece of the pot that we have to keep breaking off. When, you know,
exactly.
And don't so think about like, merch and the flights and the gas and the tolls and the food, and it's just everything.
We had a European tour where the expenses before the tour that I was going over was $28,000 that we spent, like, that's total, like, even before the tour. So minus miscellaneous stuff, not including, you know, random crap that I'll have to pay for while I'm there. Like, just the expenses was $28,000, and like, to be in a, you know, mid-tier metal band that makes decent, like, it's a weird thing in metal, and something I've thought about a lot in the music scene is like, being a mid-tier band is the worst, because you make enough money to travel and all this stuff, but you also have to travel and do all this stuff so much that you spend that money.
Yeah, exactly.
So small bands can tour in a van in the States and make enough money to get all that done. Yeah. Then big bands make enough money to where, like, big bands make enough money to where travel, you know, bands like Breaking Benjamin or whatever, like,
and travel,
they make
and
enough
luxury.
where all that stuff doesn't necessarily matter. It's the mid-tier that has a massive problem, and I think the industry needs to relook at how it's structured, because, like, the percentages and the money that mid-tier bands have to give to so many other people really takes away from the livelihood of the band and being able to do it, because the band has to travel a ton and spend all this money to be a band. Yeah. But they also don't make enough access to make the band livable. That's why
it makes it really hard to tour, and then it makes it really hard for you to live at home. Like, it was so difficult for me for a while adjusting to it in the beginning, because, you know, I was working at a really nice barbershop making really good money, and then I gave all that up so I could do the touring thing, and I thought I would be fine, but eventually that money starts depleting when you're gone for so long. You're paying for an apartment that you're not even staying at. Like, I just did 70 days, like, in Japan, Australia, Europe, and UK, like, all in one. And I came home, and I needed, like, that entire first week of work that I hustled out so hard. I needed that just to, like, keep my head up so I'm not drowning. Like, you know, it gets really bad sometimes, but, like, you know, we always try to find ways to work it. If I really wanted to keep doing this as hard as I am, like, I'm gonna figure it out, you know?
Yeah, and that's what everyone in the scene is trying to do. And I mean, this is the reason, like, you're doing a stream, I'm doing a stream, Adam, Matt, like, everyone's doing this, because it's like, one, the stream to me, and just, I didn't mention it, I should have mentioned it a while ago, but Joe does stream. It's twitch.tv/JoeBad. I'll link everything down in the description, links for all the freaking crap. But, like, one, I see a lot of benefits of doing the streams on Twitch. And a big one is obviously money. Like, it really helps, just that little bit of extra money helps try to be a little financially stable.
Absolutely.
But two, something that I really started noticing was, like, my band isn't doing anything. My band, like, obviously I spent a year writing a record, but we haven't toured in a year almost, besides the random festivals and whatever. But but over the course of that year, I've been interacting with our fans the entire time. Yeah, you know.
which
Like
is
they're
good.
coming to the stream, they see me posting content. It still makes it look like we're active. So it's like it's not only a way for me to have a supplemental income, but it's also a way to interact with fans in a deeper way.
Yeah,
Like
still
I don't know,
engage with them.
yeah, I don't know if you've had it yet, but like at every single show, I had like 2 or 3 people from the stream come up to me.
Yeah,
Like,
exactly.
yeah,
They we were in Paris and
yeah,
like it was oh man, quick story.
yeah. Go ahead.
We were on stage and it was like in between songs. I got quiet for a second and I was putting the mic to my lips to talk, and this guy, he's like, "Joe Bad on Twitch." I was like, ah! This guy, and Tim lost it. He started dying
Yeah.
laughing. I was like, "Oh my god, Paris, how are we doing?"
That's awesome.
It was really
Yeah,
cool.
I told my chat they need to bring like signs with my emotes, like throw them up in
Oh
the crowd.
my god. We should just start getting like big sized emotes
Exactly.
and just like sending them out like stickers instead of
Oh, true, yeah.
put the little
Exactly.
popsicles on the back.
So they look like an auction, but they're just like raising our emotes.
It's just
up.
like an auction. It's like horns up.
The emote.
Emote horns.
Yeah. No, the Twitch is great, dude, and just being involved with fans, and like also like I stream like 5 days a week, and there's people that are in there every single day, and I get to know these people. Like I know their taste in music. I know where they work. I know, what they do on a daily basis. I know when one of them is about to take a nap every day. And I'm like, dude, isn't it about time for you to take a nap? He's like, yep, I'll be back in a bit. Like, so it's like it's a cool way to know
meet new
people,
friends, man.
and
like
meet friends, and
that's what has been happening with me. Like, I mean, I was a PC gamer my entire life growing up, and then I had console for a while. I couldn't afford to like upgrade the PC because it gets expensive doing thing. But I finally am back on the PC gaming, and I just like forgot how amazing the PC community is. Like,
dude.
I have so many friends on here that play. The fact that we can now cross play with people on console is actually really cool too. So it's just like growing another community outside of like what's going on, like all the negativity that goes on in real life stuff. Like, keep it out of there. Once I'm here, this is like my happy zone. Like this, I'm with friends, like we're having a great time. There's no negativity, and like
exactly,
it's amazing. It's such a great thing, and like having Twitch help bring together that community of people and making them friends with each other that have never met before. They have the similar style of music,
exactly,
and it's like now I just go into my Discord. I'm seeing all these people talking to each other because they're now new friends, and it makes me happy. I love that stuff. Yeah, it's really cool.
I have a lot of friends or a lot of viewers. It's weird for me to call them viewers because it's more than just that. They're not just people that just watch me.
Yeah, it's the family, man. It's the family.
I have some people in my stream that like they're going to festivals together. I have like four Germans that are all going to festivals together.
That's awesome. That's really cool.
Or like some of them want to drive down from Iowa and hang out with me and a few of the Kansas City viewers and like go out to eat and stuff.
That's awesome.
Like,
that's really cool.
And so it's like, I don't know, it is Twitch, because like you said, everyone has the same thing. They love games, they love heavy music. That's why they're there.
Exactly.
And so it's cool to get them involved and meet new people and just like talk and chill and whatnot.
Yeah.
And if someone has something personal, crappy going on, I'm like, yo, we don't have to talk about it now, but you can hit me up on Discord later. We can talk
of course.
And I think it's great. And you said you're a barber, so you're still doing barber work.
Yes,
exactly. Tour, right?
Yep.
Yeah. And that's how long have you been cutting hair for?
It's coming up on 7 years now.
7 years. Nice.
Yeah, it's pretty insane. So like,
what made you want to start it and whatnot?
I didn't plan on like being a barber when I was younger. Like I thought I was gonna play football. Like I thought I was gonna be an NFL superstar. Like I had like 22 scholarship offers to play football. I chose to like be in a band. But what do you call it? I was like an electronics technician, and then like after that job like fell through, that whole company went down. I was just like, oh my god, I've got nothing. And like my barber hit me up and he was like, yo man, like heard you're looking for work and you showed interest in like possibly starting to learn how to cut hair. And I was like, yeah, I mean, let's try it out. So like I get there, he bought me my first set of clippers, and I did like two or three haircuts that first day on like my best friends, and like it was so awesome. Like,
Yeah.
granted, the haircuts were not awesome, but the
Yeah.
experience and like working in that barbershop environment, meeting someone brand new that you've never met before in your life, and creating that special bond with them.
Yeah.
And now they trust you. Now they
Yeah.
only trust you. They want you to cut their hair all the time. Because they're afraid someone else might mess them up. Or you get the guys that come in and treat you like you're a therapist, which technically, as a barber, you are like a therapist. So you can talk to me about anything. I'm like some random dude that doesn't know you, doesn't know your past experiences, doesn't know your life, and you could literally fully open up to me, and then that keeps that relationship like strong.
Definitely. Yeah.
So it's really cool. I like someone coming in having a terrible day, then I do like a really nice haircut on them, and then they're just like so much happier than when they came in, and now they're psyched. They're ready to take on the whole week, the whole 2 weeks, until they come back in the chair all miserable again because they look like duty. But it's fun, man. Awesome. I love my job, and I love the guys that I work with. I work at a barbershop called Iron and Tread Barbershop in Sayville. It's a great crew of dudes, and all of these dudes enjoy cutting hair. They love the whole art form of it, and they take their job very seriously. Everyone with their appointments. It's very, very cool, man. It's a very cool vibe. Yeah, man.
Yeah, that's awesome that you have a career outside of the music that helps live that, like, be able to subsidize living that life, because I'm assuming they're cool with you touring and coming back.
Luckily that's a really cool thing that they let me do that, and they let me come back to a chair, so that's great.
That's tight. Really cool. Yeah, and like with the stream, like I'm gonna be trying to stream as much as possible on tour, and I know you were doing that a lot. Like when you're in Japan, you're doing a lot of in real life like stuff as well. You did some sound checks
walking
as
around
well.
Tokyo, doing some sound checks and cool stuff.
How was Japan?
Japan was amazing, dude. It's one of the coolest places I've ever been in my life. The ramen and sushi are wonderful. Every day, ramen and sushi. I did not change it at all.
Yeah. Ink Addict is a tattoo lifestyle brand. Their designs fit the aesthetic that everyone that loves tattoos is all about. They are a great company, and not only sponsor my stream, but have also sponsored my band, The Browning, for a long, long time. They're really great people with a vision that really matches the art and style of tattoos. Head over to inkaddict.com and Ink Addict Nation on Twitter to check out the sick deals they got going on, because they always got something. Go check them out, dudes. It's good stuff. Trust me. Like, obviously I do this a lot to interact with people, but I also love traveling. I love seeing places.
Same.
Been to Europe like freaking, 10 times now. And so I'm just like, I need to hit up that part of. I need to go to Japan. I want to go to China. I want to go to Thailand. Like,
so worth it, man. It really.
That's like my big thing. Is like once I hit that, I'm just like I'll be set on my travel. Like,
oh, absolutely.
Yeah, and it's Australia too. It's a totally different experience.
Australia was really cool too. Yeah. What a wonderful place. It's hot all the time. Beaches everywhere. Giant spiders. I saw a giant spider at the hotel. It scared the hell out of me.
Rip.
Yeah.
Rip. I've never met one Australian band that didn't completely love being from Australia.
Really?
A
lot of them are like, we want to move here, mate.
No, really? Well, it's only because cigarettes are cheaper here, probably.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, like a small McDonald's meal is like $15 out there.
Yeah, their stuff is really like, I think. We were touring with this band called Buried in Verona that was from Australia, and they loved Australia, but they also loved coming to the States because they could go buy vans for like $40-$50 when Australia vans are like $90 or something.
Yeah, exactly.
And so, but just every Australian I've met is just always like, yeah, it feels like actually living in paradise in a lot of the places.
It really is, man. Brisbane was cool. I liked Sydney and Melbourne though. Favorite places.
Is there anywhere now that you're just like, man, I want to hit there more, or I want to go there, like I need to go to this place? Have you guys done South America?
Haven't done South America. I would love to do South America. I want to do Hawaii real bad because I also want to go to Hawaii. I've never been to Spain yet. I want to go to Spain. I would love to go to Barcelona. Where else would I want?
Spain. We had 3 shows booked in Spain on this last European tour we did, and we got freaking robbed in Italy and had to like cancel the rest of the tour.
Oh my god! Wait, hold on. Were you guys out with Miss May I?
No, they got robbed by the same people as we did. We got robbed about like 8 months before they
We
did.
all kind of think we know who's behind it.
Yeah, it was jacked. Like it was bad. And I think Miss May I carried on their tour. I don't remember exactly, but like we got so screwed because like people talk crap on this, but we have to have laptops or iPods or something running our backing tracks. Like,
yeah, of course,
100% have to.
Yeah,
all of that got stolen. We can't just use another band's gear to play.
Yeah, no, not at all.
So like, if everything containing all of our files, everything got stolen, we were just like, we literally can't play a show.
Yeah,
like
that's
and
insane.
our managers were like, just put on like the recordings and play over those. I'm like, dude, come on.
Yeah, it's
like,
not. Yeah, that doesn't even sound even remotely appealing at all.
Yeah, and so it's just like it was a nightmare. And one of the biggest bummers, luckily we were doing Italy, our very last shows before we went to UK or Spain and then UK, and so it's like luckily we got through all of our big markets, Germany and Switzerland and all that stuff. But I was so bummed about to go to Spain. We were going to be in Spain for like 5 days, and weather was
that would have
like
been so sick.
Yeah, and weather would be like 80 degrees a day, and I was just like, crap. Like I was so bummed.
That sucks.
The promoter offered to bring us back again on a festival though, so hopefully that will happen again.
That's cool. That's
cool.
Cool.
How many like full European tours have you done? Is there anywhere in Europe you just like love going like every single time?
I mean, Austria is so nice.
Yeah.
Love Austria.
Yeah.
I hate the stairs in the Viper Room, though.
That, dude, we played that place the last 2 times. Yes. Yeah. We played that place the last 2 times. It's like
everyone's smoking cigarettes in the front of the stage.
And it's like freaking 3 stories downstairs in a freaking bunker,
place
dude.
It should be a strip club.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be surprised if it still isn't.
Our dressing room is the secret room.
Yeah, dude.
It's brutal.
Yeah.
Cool venue. Like the crowd's always really cool there. Like,
yeah,
just terrible stairs. I've counted. There's 54 steps.
Yeah, dude. And it's like the Loft in Lansing times like 4. It's bad.
Oh yes, the Loft. Or what about that place in Chicago where you gotta truck the merch all the way upstairs?
Dude,
I can't remember the name of that place.
Venues with stairs, I'm just like, come on, man. Or one of my biggest pet peeves is venues with no parking. Why?
It's like, how is that even possible?
Yeah. And so you have to like pull your van into the back alley, park, and then you ask the promoter, so where should I park? They're like, I don't know, just drive around, find something. I'm like, sick. So now I have to spend like $40 on freaking,
like a parking area, and you have to have someone in the van the whole time, pretty much, so you don't get robbed, because that happens.
I hate that.
Time.
Yeah, I hate like venues that don't have parking. It's one of my biggest pet peeves.
Yeah, it's pretty obnoxious.
Yeah, but yeah, with the whole Italy thing, like I'm personally nothing against like metalheads in Italy. I don't think we're ever going to go back to Italy. I
think that's where almost every single band is. Yeah, we just don't like. We love the metalheads out there. We love people that appreciate the metal in Italy. Yeah. But the way that the promoters run the shows, the way everything happens out there, it never works out for us. We always get screwed. Like, the majority of the time never get what we're supposed to get to help us get to the next place. And it's
what people don't understand a lot of times is like when you go into Italy, there's like crazy taxes on your merchandise. You have to. And it's also. Another big thing about it is like if you're headlining, you don't play till like freaking 3 a.m.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Like their culture over there, they shows start at like 9 or 10 p.m. in Italy. You know,
it's insane. It's so late.
Yeah, and so it's like and for some reason, personally, me and my wife, we did our honeymoon in Italy. Italian food is not as good as American Italian food, and I will say that
because all of the ones who taught everyone in Italy. They all moved to America and probably moved to like Long Island and New Jersey because best sauce in the blend. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, Italy is just a pain in the crack, dude. Like it really is. And
it really is.
I wish we could go there, but like it's just it might not be possible anymore just because it's like super inconvenient, and then the whole thing it's just like it's strange, man.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely.
But yeah, like but I'll be more than happy to, we've tried playing everywhere. It's hard to get in the markets. That's another thing people understand. They're always like, hey, come to South America, or hey, do Warped Tour, or hey, you guys should get on this massive festival.
It's like sure, we're on it.
Yeah, whoever. I never thought of that one.
And we're on the tour.
Yeah, like it's hard. There's so many bands fighting for these spots and fighting for these festivals, and
everyone's submitting, man. Everyone submits for a tour, and if you get it, awesome. If you don't, well, submit for another one.
And it's something I talked to Adam about a little bit. Is like buy-ons are such a big thing now that it's really screwing like a lot of mid-tier bands, because a lot of big tours will take a small buy-on rather than a mid-tier band with no buy-on.
Exactly. Which they would probably have a better draw.
They'd have a better draw, but it's like the big bands I feel like now are getting less guarantees, and so they need more money up front to start funding their flights or paying for half their transport up front and all this stuff. And so they'll take a buy-on rather than take a band that will draw more, because they'll need that buy-on money right off the bat. And I feel like that's screwing mid-tier bands.
Yeah, it does. It sucks. That's happened to us a few times, and we're just like...
Yep. Exactly.
Yep.
Yeah,
not gonna do
sucks.
that.
We even had a time where we did I was just like, F it, fine, I'll do a buy-on. It was like $1,250 for like a 2 of 4. And I was like, fine, I'll do it. It was only $1,250, and I was just like, whatever. I want to be on a tour. We need to do something. Then like 3 weeks went by, didn't hear anything back, and then so I hit them. I said, hey, so I'm ready to send that money. Can we do it? They're like, oh, this other band offered $5,000, and I was like,
as a like, 2 of for $5,000?
Yeah, exactly.
Can I ask what tour this was? You could say no.
The headliner was Bless the Fall.
Oh, okay. Wow.
Yeah. And so I was just like, man, we just got totally freaking like dealt dirt. Like, and the band was a band you never heard of, and that's the thing about the buy-ons.
And that's what sucks, because it's just like, who the hell is this?
Yeah. And so it's for money to be such a like a freaking deciding factor of who's on a tour is a bummer, because like I said, mid-tier bands, and I feel like the Browning and Fit is almost in that same realm of like almost on the cusp of being able to make enough money to really be set off, or just like almost on that cusp of being outside of a mid-tier band. And I don't have $5,000, dude. No. I tour too much to make money at home, and we don't make enough money on tour to be able to pay to have $5,000 sitting around.
Exactly. Wouldn't that be risky for like the band that's taking like, or the management or however it's working, for them to take a $5,000 risk? Like, wouldn't you rather take a band out that you know is going to draw instead of like, I don't know if this band will draw, but $5,000. Like, I feel like it's such a smarter move to just grab a band that would draw more of a different crowd to make the show bigger.
What I feel like is they perceive it as, Bless the Fall is going to draw a lot of people no matter what. Is what their thought is, and they're so like, well, if this band isn't going to bring a lot of the package, why not just bring a band that's just going to give us money?
Exactly.
Because also it's like, if I paid a $1,250 buy-on, I would still expect as a 2 of 4 to be getting like $350 a show.
Yeah, exactly.
But a band that's a lot smaller than us will pay $5,000 and probably take $100 or $150 a show.
Oh my god, yeah, that's right too.
Yeah. So like the package is gonna get X amount of money no matter who's on underneath them, basically, unless it's like a co-headliner. So it's like the headliners can either pay us $350 or $400 a show, or they can pay this band $150, and so they'll make that extra $250 for the headliner.
Yeah, exactly.
And so it's like, I feel like just money has such a freaking determining factor in who's on tours now. Whenever I feel like it used to just be, man, we want a sick show, Yeah. And I don't know. But there are still a lot of agents and stuff that do put on great shows and great tours, like this like Chelsea Grin Oceano show tour just got announced. Like, that is a sick package.
Oh yeah, and I'm psyched for Tom, because those 2 songs they released are heavy.
Yeah. Tom is great. He's a great dude. Interesting. Like, he also has very interesting vocals. Like,
oh yeah,
and and that's the thing. A lot of people just started using a lot of the same techniques. A lot of people sounded very similar, but you need that one little aspect that makes you stand out.
Oh
you
yeah,
know?
you could tell when it's Tom on a track
Yeah.
instantly, and that's what's cool about him, man. He's got that
Mhm.
distinct sound.
Yeah, and it's something that I really like about your guys' songs that I've heard is that Gojira pitch deal that's like underlying under a lot of the stuff.
Oh, thank you, man.
And that's something I've also like. It just adds that extra little element. Like for us, we've put out, it's going to be our 4th album coming out, and it's been essentially the same crap. A little different, a little bit heavier over the progression of the years. But this one, it's our heaviest album and our softest album all in one.
Yeah.
So it's like I wanted it to be more diverse. So there's a lot of singing on it, and it just that extra element of singing. I feel like the metal scene is becoming more accepting of.
Exactly, and it's cool.
Yeah.
Like, and I feel like with us, we try to just use it tastefully.
Mm-hmm.
We try not to just like force it in parts, just because
Definitely.
because like I've gotten so many people hitting me up like, "Yo, you should do the pitch scream thing more often." And it's like, I mean, I'll definitely take that into consideration, but I don't want to full on change this band to where it's just pitch screamy vocals the entire time. Which, who knows? Like, maybe if it gets cool enough where we write cool enough stuff to where it actually can
Makes
do
sense.
stuff like that, cool. But we're not going to force it if it's not
Yep.
going to work for a certain part. We want to keep our heavy fit for an autopsy-ness.
Definitely.
And then we also want to be able to do our weird little thing as we kind of slip into this thing that we have going on. So
yeah, you evolve and you find like what you like at the time of writing the album and whatnot. And
because at the end of the day, it's what we want to write and we want you
Yeah.
guys to listen to. And if you guys are into it, cool. If not, okay, maybe next record.
Maybe next time. Yeah, exactly. And that's another thing is like people hopefully will be understanding of like, someone's gonna say, I remember when the Browning was all screaming and had only heavy parts and blast beats and breakdowns and techno beats, and I'm just like, yeah, I remember when I was 18 as well.
Yeah, exactly.
Stuff,
It's like you get older and you like different things, and
the
community grows too. The metal community grows and likes different things. It's not like everyone's. I mean, I can't even say it's not like everyone's still listening to like Slayer, but everyone still listens to Slayer.
Yeah.
But it's like if you started writing music like Slayer used to write music, like exactly, it's like it's gonna just be the same. Like you can't just play the same stuff over and over.
Exactly.
It gets boring. Especially people are like, "Oh, don't you love playing this song?" It's like, yeah, I love playing that song, but I've been playing that song for 3 years now. I kind of want to play some new stuff. Like it's and they don't realize it's like we do this song every day. So yeah, I love this song, but every day.
Exactly. Well, and it's like, the fans still might have a connection with it, and like there are some songs you can't get away from. Like
we've got those.
Yeah, there's a couple that you just can't get away from. But I mean, I look at Bring Me the Horizon as a perfect example of progression done perfectly. They do not play old crap anymore. Every time they put out an album, it's like all new stuff, and everyone loves it. And so it's like if you work the progression in right, then you can really make the fans all about it.
Yeah, exactly.
It's just about some bands have just like been like, nope, we're changing. We're totally different now, and that's when fans freak the crap out.
Yeah, you gotta ease your way into it.
Exactly.
Like we went from Hellbound to Absolute Hope, Absolute Hell, introducing like that pit screamy thing, and it was like just a little bit. Did a little bit different on the Great Collapse. I think we still kept it pretty minimal, but we did it just a little differently, and people have been into it. So I mean, I'm pumped.
Yeah, no, I think it's great, and diversity in metal is what it needs because Hammers Esports is a competitive gaming organization with a major focus on mobile gaming. I've been working with Hammers for a bit now, and they've really helped me out in a lot of ways. Go check out Hammers Esports on Twitter and show them some love. All right? Go do it. Don't even question it. Hammers Esports. Back whenever new metal and stuff really started popping, every band sounded 100% different. Think about early 2000s. You had System of a Down, Korn, Limp Bizkit, Linkin Park. Like all those bands sounded, especially the vocalists, sounded 300% different.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
And so I'm totally down for people to try weird stuff and try to be diverse and try to just add their little twist instead of trying to fit in only.
Exactly, because that's what I feel like a lot of local bands are doing. Like they're like, why aren't we past that point? It's like, because you guys are trying to play your hero's music and just like try to regurgitate it as your own by changing up things. It's like, you got to just write cool music, get with your friends, have some fun, and just like write cool stuff and put yourself out there. Spend money if you need to spend money on merch. Spend money on a guy to like put out layouts and designs for you. Spend the money that you need, because if you think you're going to stop spending money when you get bigger, you're wrong. You're going to spend more money and more money, because that's what you need to do to be in a band. So start spending the money that you need to be spending it on early. Just you're not gonna do it in the future.
It's an investment of time and money.
It's like starting a business.
And people ask me all the time, like, hey, do you have any advice? I'm starting up a band and blah blah blah. And first thing I say is find a niche that is why people will listen to you. Like, why would someone listen to your band rather than listen to Oceano that does what you're doing but better and are already big, right? So I'm like, find a niche. First of all, find something that gives people a reason to listen to you, because people aren't going to just assume you're cool. They need to hear it or see it, because some bands can thrive off of an image. So even if like an image is going to be your thing, you need to find that image and find what you're doing with it. And then also, like, if you want to tour, they're like, I want to start touring. I'm like, first of all, everyone has a job in the band. Save up as much money as you can for like a year.
Borrow your parents' credit card if you need to.
It's like you're gonna need a lot of money, dude, because when you first start, you're making most of the time $0, if not in the negative, every day. And and I mean, it's like you said, you have to invest. I spent $250 on a hand-drawn shirt design,
that's
just for
crazy.
the design.
And that's not even printing the shirts. That's like another grand or something, depending on how much merch you're buying.
Exactly. And so it's like, man, that just reminded me one time we got new managers this one time, big management company, so they were probably used to getting big bands merchandise. But I was like, dude, big management company, I'm gonna put everything in their hands. They can do everything right. And then they're like, all right, merch is showing up today, and the dude shows up with like 35 boxes of merch. It was like a freaking 14 grand merch order for a headliner, and that was like 5 years ago. Whenever we were not what we are now, and I was just like,
Jesus,
like,
man,
that set us back, dude.
I was gonna say, just that one merch bill can set back an entire 2 years of a band.
We had that merch for about a year and a half, because we couldn't sell it fast enough because we weren't big. And now that's another thing is, like, don't let anyone take control of your band full on, unless there's someone that, like, I don't know, my managers and me have this weird relationship now, or booking agents, where it's like I'm very hands-on in everything that happens because I've had experiences like that. You know?
Oh, yeah.
And, like, the best way to learn the industry is to do it hands-on yourself. Like,
I spent all my money on on merch and stuff in my local not all my local bands. A lot of us would actually pitch in, and it was really awesome. But there were certain times where it was just like, we need this. I have the money right now, so I'm just going to do it, and I'll just recoup it later. Like, that's just how you got to do it.
Yeah, you got to invest time, got to invest money. You basically can't have if your job is like you can only be gone for a week, then more than likely you're not going to become a full-time touring musician if you're still stuck on that job or whatever.
Exactly.
And also, like, relationships are a huge damper to becoming like a serious full-time musician. Like, just some relationships can handle it. A lot of times they can't. And
the majority of the time, it's very difficult to have someone home that misses you a lot, and then you are just out there touring. They think you're having the best time of your life, and it's like, well, I am, but you only see one little piece of it.
Yeah, exactly. And I mean, I've had a lot of member changes in this band just because I don't want someone in the band that's unhappy, and I don't want to be around someone that I don't like. And so we've had like a decent amount of member changes, and I will say like 5 out of 6 member changes have been because of relationships, as in like female relationships at home,
Yeah, exactly.
Because it causes so much stress being gone, and the person, like you said, they think you're out there just like partying. They see you with pictures with your arm around a girl giving a thumbs up, and they're like,
who's that?
Yeah.
It's like, she likes the music. Why is she hanging out with you guys? Like, she's at the merch table. You see all the merch behind us?
It causes a lot of problems. That's a big thing that dudes in bands don't see right off the bat, is like, you know, and not that it's like girls are crazy and blah blah blah, because I've seen it the opposite, where a dude on tour is like, my chick is always at home cheating on me, and you know,
Yeah.
so I've seen whenever the chick probably isn't, and so I've seen it both ways. The dudes are always stressed about their girls at home. The girls are always stressed about the guy on tour, and
Yeah,
I don't know, man.
course.
Touring's stressful in that sense. Like you really do sacrifice a lot of friendships and relationships or anything like that to be able to do it.
Yeah, I mean, sometimes you think about it and you're like, man, this really sucks. But then at the end of the day, like, you're just like, no, maybe it was for the best. Kind of thing.
After
like,
you play the show, you're like, okay, you
it's
know,
like, this is why I do it. You know, you get that
unless there's
45
bad
minutes.
monitors, then I'll freaking
Yes,
rage.
unless there's bad monitors, then I'm just like, well,
Yep.
then
That
I
is
have
the
a
one
bad
thing.
show. Then I wreak
Dude.
havoc on the phone, like, shut up, this sucks.
Yeah, it's like, dude, bad sound at a venue can just freaking ruin my day. Like,
Oh, yeah.
because one, if there's a ton of people, say it's 500 people in the crowd, and you have really bad monitors, and you're like, dude, that show sucked.
Yeah,
But if there's like 20 people in the crowd and you have really good monitors, you're like, that was sick.
yeah.
Like, I don't know. For me, if there's good sound, I have a good time no matter what.
I have to know what I'm doing. If I don't know what I sound like, I just assume I sound like shit. So I just like whatever.
Yeah, and for me, it's a really like a lot of people don't know this, and a lot of people actually don't believe me when I tell them I do all inhale vocals, like 100% inhale vocals.
No, you
And
don't.
I do all my mids, all my.
I had
lows,
no
everything.
idea.
Yeah,
That's
And-
crazy.
yeah, I do all inhale vocals, and so like I have to hear what my throat is doing through a monitor,
Yeah.
or I don't know what I sound like. And so it's like, if I can hear myself and I can hear my voice starting to do a little tendency, then I can kind of twist my throat around while I'm screaming to make it. And I'm sure it's the same for exhale too, but
Yeah.
I can kind of like manipulate my throat if there's a weird little noise happening in it.
Yeah.
Then I can manipulate it, make it sound proper. But if I can't hear myself, and also I think the fact that I do inhales, I really have to manipulate my throat to sound right.
Yeah.
I'm just like, I don't know what I sound like. I could be squeaking. I could be like no distortion. Like, I don't know, dude. And-
For me, it's more or less when I guess it's I don't want to push too hard, if that makes sense.
Yeah,
Like,
that too.
if I'm pushing way too hard, that's when I start squeaking. And like
Mhm.
when I don't have monitors, I feel like I'm pushing so hard to compensate. But
Yeah.
like after a while, I started teaching myself to go off the vibrations of my throat.
Mhm.
And like what feels comfortable, what scream is that vibration. So
Yeah.
like, when I don't have monitors, like it's still the end of the world for me. Let's
Yeah.
still the end of the world.
Yeah.
But at least it's not too bad. And like I will be on my Instagram looking up hashtag fit for an autopsy. Hopefully someone posted a live video. Let's see how shitty I sound.
Uh-huh. Yeah, it's that is a thing. If the monitors are too quiet or something, you just like, my big thing, I never have throat problems from my screams. Like,
Yeah.
and my inhales are actually pretty freaking loud. But like I have throat problems whenever I'm yelling at the crowd. Whenever I use an exhale to yell.
Yeah.
And if I can't hear myself, then I yell way too hard, and that will F me up.
Because you think it's like, "Go, what's up?" And you're just
Yeah.
like, "Yeah, what's up?"
Yeah, it's weird. Like I this cycle, since this album is like a lot of clean singing, which my clean sings are actually like just yelling as loud as I can with a pitch to it. But
Yeah.
I think I'm gonna invest in some in-ears just so I can make sure. Like,
That's what we're trying to do. Our next
Yeah.
step is production and in-ears. So
Yep, exactly. I'm spending like pretty much. Our advance for the album. I'm spending like $5,000 on like a full MIDI controlled light rig.
that's awesome.
So yeah, so we can really step up that thing, and again, still investing, spending $5,000 on lights.
Yeah.
You know? Like,
And I think it's like, yeah, and that's $5,000 just for lights. And then you got to think about your wireless setup. Once you start doing your wireless and your in-ears and everybody's in-ears,
it's
like
gonna be like $1,000 or $2,000 or
it's usually it's a little more when you do
Yeah,
it
no,
for
yeah.
each person, and it's like,
Yeah.
"Ugh."
I know Chelsea Grin, their wireless in-ear setup. I think they said it was like $30,000 or something, because
Jesus.
they have like everyone on their own mixer and all this freaking crap. Like, Jimbus, dude, that's freaking nuts.
Yeah, that's insane.
Yeah, and so yeah, man, always investing just to try to make it that much better. You know,
Oh,
how can
absolutely.
you progress if you don't spend money to up production or up like your own quality and
Yeah,
whatever? And so,
exactly.
yeah, but yeah, What are your guys like plans coming up? Or you're working on an album, and I know you're doing a few dates with Trivium, aren't you? Or did that already happen?
We leave, I believe, like July 10th to go practice, and I believe it starts July 16th or 17th, maybe even earlier than that, but till July 27th. So it's only like a 2-week short run. It's Trivium, Fit for an Autopsy, and Bad Omens.
That's that.
So there's that coming up. There's a few exciting things I can't tell you here.
Yeah, of course.
But there's a few cool things going on in the background that I'm excited that we may get and may announce. But the record we're going to be recording pretty soon. We just signed with Nuclear Blast. It's pretty much all I have that I can say right.
Yeah, no, that I understand.
But other than that, things are going really well.
Good. Yeah, you guys really the past like few years are really getting that recognition to throw you up there. Like it's been going great for you guys.
We've definitely been grinding really hard. Like I've spent a lot of time away from lot of time.
And that's what you gotta do when you start. I mean, like whenever I started the Browning, we were doing like 250 shows a year. You know?
It's insane.
And that's just what you got to do. And now we're at a point where I feel like we can start calming down a bit. Do like 2 American tours a year and like 1 in Europe, and we were doing like 3 in Europe and like 4 in the States every year.
Exactly. That's
so now we can calm a bit, and we're to that point to where it maybe become a little more of a necessity rather than like a full on grind. And I feel like you guys are getting to that point as well, where you take more key tours rather than just a massive grind.
We've just been like the past 3 years, we've been just taking every good opportunity, and we've been getting a lot thrown at us, but like a lot of them are like mixed in with each other. It's like do this tour and then jump on this tour and then have like a month off, and then do this tour and this tour, then have like a couple weeks off, then do some off dates, do a couple festivals, then come home for like 3 months.
Yeah, definitely. It's
wild.
It's a grind when you start, man, but it's worth it once you get to that point where you can start calming down a little bit, but the money's there to be able to, at least sustain the touring.
Yeah, exactly.
So
exactly.
But yeah, dude. So Joe Bad on Twitch, and then Joe FKN Bad on Twitter. I'm gonna have all the links in the description for everything. Come hang out with him on stream. Right now, playing a lot of Fortnite, and I know you played CS:GO.
A lot of Fortnite, CS:GO. What's that new game? That
Realm
Royale. I started playing that a little bit. That game's pretty cool. I can get into it.
I like it.
I love Rocket League, so we're gonna have to rip some Rocket League.
I'll give you some lessons.
I'll gladly take them, because there's certain hits that I just can't get. Like when the ball's up and everyone just goes underneath and whoop, just like hit. I'm like, oh, you guys are so good. There's those, but I also like Rainbow Six Siege is really cool. That one's a lot of fun. It's so good.
That game's like a next level Counter-Strike.
Yeah, it's like a modern day Counter-Strike.
Yeah, it's like Counter-Strike's strategic, but a lot of Counter-Strike's run and gun. You don't run and gun in Rainbow Six.
Yeah, you can't run and gun at all. Like everything, you have to be working with your team. You have to pick the right operators to do the right things. Like you got to go in together. Like you got to play as a team. It's really cool.
Yeah. That game's tight.
Also, World of Warcraft, of course. I'm waiting for that expansion to come out.
People keep bugging me about it. Like, I'm just like, man. But I love RuneScape. I'm like, do I have time for 2 MMOs? I don't know.
I don't know. You might. I mean, maybe if you started playing World of Warcraft back in like BC or like Wrath of the Lich King, it probably would have been really cool. But like, I'm just hoping this next expansion's actually good, because I've been pretty disappointed the past 2.
Really?
So, yeah. It's cool at first, and then once you're done, you're just like, well, I have everything I need. It's not hard to grind and get gear anymore. So it's like...
because you max in like a week or something?
Yeah, it's insane.
Yeah. I've been playing RuneScape since 2001, and I haven't maxed.
Oh, yeah. Dude, it's nuts. Like, the PvP used to be awesome, and now it's just like, nothing's balanced. There's always such an overpowered class that everyone chooses, and it's like, it's get frustrating. And PUBG I uninstalled so fast.
Yeah, F that game, dude.
Yeah. Like seriously, that game is like how do you Fortnite's free, and they did it so well. You charge people $30. You got They got like $30 million the first month that they released it on Xbox.
Yeah, it's
And you
just
couldn't
honestly just
take
bad developers.
5% of that and just like put it towards development and make your game
Yeah.
run way cooler. No, we're
Yep.
gonna add skins. We're gonna give Doc a
Yep.
skin. We're gonna give Shroud a
Yeah.
skin. Who cares, man? Who cares what you guys want?
Yeah, and the big thing is their skins aren't even cool. It's
They're
like a
not.
raincoat. Like,
oh yeah. Oh, sick raincoat, dude. That's awesome. Did you see my
$100.
tomato man? My little dancing tomato man with the
Yeah.
L on his head?
exactly.
Yeah.
It's just fun. Like, and that's the thing with the art style of Fortnite and like Realm Royale. It's like, it's fun, dude. Games are supposed to be fun, and yeah, people like hyper realism. But you know, wearing like I don't know, 100. Literally, that raincoat's like $100 skin or something. I'm like,
it's
dude,
dumb.
like
You want a real game? Play Battlefield. Wait for the next
Exactly.
Battlefield to come out.
Which
I'm
they
actually
are
pretty
doing a
pumped.
Royale.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Are they doing a Royale? They announced
they're
it?
doing a battle royale. Yeah, they just announced it at E3.
That's awesome.
Yeah, no,
If
I
they're
said
the
that.
company, they're the company to do it, man. They are the company to do it because they have the bullet drop. They've got everything down packed when it comes to realistic video
Yeah,
games.
it runs smooth. It freaking looks insane.
Yeah.
And the maps are huge. They already have huge maps there. They already have people used to huge maps in the game style. And
Yep.
it's whenever I recently started playing Battlefield 1, and while I was playing it, you know, I was just like, dude, this game, they had a battle royale.
Yeah.
Then that's gonna be sick. But the problem is, it's still a $60 game. There's no possible way for it to become like Fortnite unless it's free.
Yeah, exactly.
You know? Or like even this Realm Royale, it's blown up because it's free.
Yeah, that's very true. Realm Royale is pretty awesome too.
Yeah.
I had a little bit of fun. And what's that other game that I just started? Dauntless?
Dauntless is sick.
Yeah, I just got the alpha for it, so I
Yeah.
played it a little bit yesterday. It's cool.
Yeah. It's
Very,
basically like
very
a Monster Hunter world, but like a little more it's like a Fortnite Monster Hunter world.
Yeah,
right?
I think it's a little
Yeah.
more cartoony than Fortnite.
Yeah, it is. And
Yeah, it's cool.
I
though.
personally love those graphics. I love graphics, and that's
It's
one thing I
smooth,
liked
it's
about like
fun.
WoW and stuff.
And
is,
Overwatch
like,
too,
mm-hmm.
and
Yeah.
Destiny 2.
Destiny, yep. I love Destiny. I wish I would have lasted longer in it. Like,
Yeah,
honestly, the first time, whenever I tried the raid for the first time, quit after that.
really?
Like, I was just like, this is too
Oh,
freaking in depth, dude. Like, I just
They're
couldn't
about
do
to
it.
make it even crazier. They're putting more bosses than they ever have in a raid.
Really.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
gonna be intense.
I just couldn't, man. It was the raid was too in depth for me to
Yeah,
just hop in and have a good time with. Like, you have to watch 10 videos on it and have a
Yeah.
spreadsheet or something like. Or maybe I just suck. I never played the original Destiny, so maybe I just wasn't used to it. But
I played Destiny 1 a lot, but Destiny 2. Oh, ow. Destiny. That was weird. Destiny 2 was really fun. They really
Yeah.
did a cool job with like the subclasses. They're adding new
Yeah.
subclasses now. They're gonna have bows and arrows.
to me, I love the PvP. The PvP was why I
Dude,
loved Destiny.
all I do is Crucible. Like any
Yeah.
game, if it doesn't have PvP, I'm probably not really that psyched on it. Except for
Yeah.
Dauntless is pretty. But
Yeah.
I'm a PvP guy. I like
Definitely.
to engage in player versus player combat.
You like to rip people.
I love the word rip. You know, I like getting real excited when I just ruin someone's day. You know,
Yeah, exactly.
Your day's ruined. I got the win.
Yep. Perfect. Well, we've been going for almost an hour and a half.
Oh wow.
So yeah, it's been.
Oh wow. Yes, we have.
Yeah, an hour and a half. So I appreciate you being here talking to me, Joe Bad on Twitch, and make sure to stay up on Fit stuff to see what these dudes are doing because they're doing a lot of sweet stuff. So
Thank you. Man.
appreciate you. I'll have links for it in the description for everything so everyone can come to your Twitch and come hang out and everything. So I appreciate you being here and
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, we'll need to hop into some Realm Royale and some Fortnite here soon. All right.
Yeah, absolutely, man. Thank you.
All right. Yep. Appreciate it. Peace out, dude.
Later, brother.